What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Iramasa, and welcome back to Space Engineers. Today's video is kind of a special one because a commenter left me a kind of challenge slash idea to do on Space Engineers, and I just want to say thank you for that because it was really fun trying to do this one. So yeah. As always, I hope you're doing well wherever you are in the world. And let's get into this so I can show you what it's all about. Alright, so the beast behind me is my take on the CH-53e Super Stallion. In real life, it's a heavy lift helicopter operated by the United States military, made by Sikorsky. But yeah, this variant's kind of my brainchild. The curvature of it and the size of it and everything was just mind-bending for a bit, but managed to get it down pretty well. So yeah, thank you for the challenge, and I hope you like it, mate. But yeah. Alright, so going around, we have the kind of miniature, I think it's a radar pod of the side here, but if you wanted to curve it back out, you can do that by removing it and adding some downward 2x1 angle blocks and some glass if you do intend to do that. We have a light, but you can always use MA spotlight mod to add more or extra lights underneath or anything else you want. Here we have the refueling air-to-air boom. On the end here is a connector from AWG. I think it's under the AWG convenient weapons mod. Something like that anyways. It's the one with all the tank parts and everything. The aircraft itself is made out of aircraft blocks from the aerodynamic wings mod, I think. And the blades themselves are from the aerodynamic pack or the plane props plus or the helicopter blades pack. It's one of them, but yeah. She's about 20 meters long or something like that. You have a connector underneath as well for your standard stuff, as well as this one. It's all plumbed through the whole system, so I'll show you that in a minute over there. But from the outside, you've got your two side doors, which are cool, and you also got your rear ramp. So if I open that up, plenty of headroom if you need it, and enough seating for you, your co-pilot, your two door gunners, and 30 other mates in the back here. So if you are so inclined, bring along the squad slash battalion and rain hell on whoever you feel like. The side doors themselves, all of the doors and the ramps are on independent buttons, so if you only want to lift one door, you can do that. The top doors up here fold away into the roofs, so if you need that extra head height, well, it's there. Your side gunners have a limited window of firing arc, but that's okay. This aircraft isn't exactly designed to be a frontline combat thing. It has the 3-engine setup from the real-life version, as well as flare launchers out the side. You can get those. I'll leave a caption on screen for where you can get all of the mods used. I throw on the hydrogen thrusters as kind of a faux exhaust port. On the actual CH-53, the tail boom is actually angled slightly off the center, but I didn't exactly want to summon the Wrath of Clang, be thy name. But yeah. All in all, it's a pretty big aircraft. Like, as it's sitting here, the aircraft weighs, what was that, 84,000 kilograms, almost 85. It's sitting here on idle. It's got enough power for about 2 days. To go through the startup sequence though, on the first bar, number 1 is your flare launchers. Number 6 is the connector under the floor here. Number 8 is the connector on the boom, and number 9 is the boom itself. So if you ever figure out how to do air-to-air refueling, let me know. On bar number 2, you have on 1 the batteries, on 2 you have the engines, on 3 you have the gyros, and on 4 you have all the rotors. But and 5 and 6 are all of your nav lights. And 9 is just the lock for all the doors, so you don't summon Clang or anything else in case something breaks off. All in all, the view from the cockpit is pretty nice. You can see out towards the ground. You have 3 consoles in front here for any script you'd like to run, as well as 3 overhead screens, so if you want like power and fuel, whatever, it's all up here, or on these. The view around's pretty nice. It's nice and open, so you can see everything you want. As well as, if you need it, there's a window in the bottom here with a rotor, so if you want to connect like a sling load system, be it with like a hinged landing gear or the harpoon mod, you can sling it under here and have one of your guys on the inside kind of direct you in over the top of the load. I haven't set up the controls on the co-pilot seat, but this should only really be one pilot, and hey, I'll sort that out if and when I actually upload this thing. The red interior lights, you can't exactly see them at night from a long way away, but you can see all the navigation lights, which is nice. As for all the guts and the internals, you have 6 fuel tanks buried in the pontoons. 3 per side. Each one has, I think it's 1,400 liters of hydrogen. and they're plumbed in through the connector. So from here, under the seat, through the connector, up into here, which is just cargo and stuff, which connects out through here and goes to the boom, as well as actually going up to the engines. The flare launchers are connected in, so you can carry extra flares on board. As I said before, you have the 3 engines, 9 gyros, and 3 extra batteries. Should you need to do any in-flight repairs, get up there. You can access one of the engines from inside, and if you take off the panels on the inside here, you can access the batteries in the gyro pack. All in all, I really like this aircraft. Like, it's really, really cool. As for ground characteristics and flight characteristics, we'll get into that into a second, but this here is what the actual helicopter blades are supposed to be, like the actual size of them compared to the aircraft. So yeah, compare that to that. They weren't functional, they weren't very practical, because I had a hinge block in here connected to this on a 45-degree angle, thus almost summoning the wrath of Clang. No lightning, nothing gonna strike me down, sweet. But yeah, unfortunately the mods don't have a rotor system that big yet, but maybe one day. As for how loud it is on the inside, well, yeah, it's about that loud. Close these. No, that one. Alright, so on the ground she does drive. She, what is it? I set it up to go about 15 kilometers per hour on the ground. Let's turn off the gyros and the rotors. Take off the parking brake. She does turn pretty well. The front wheel is set to 30 degrees angle, so she can turn pretty well. Idling like this, you have maybe a day and a half of power, but keep your missions under half an hour. Turning on the dampeners, it does jump a tiny bit, but that's unavoidable. The suspension on the wheels is a bit wacky, but hey, left and right, pretty good. Forward and back, pretty nice. Up, down, she'll get you out of any situation as long as you're not, under the influence and flying the aircraft at the same time into a mountainside. I take no responsibility for that. But as for roll, it's a bit slow, but it'll do. As for gyro turning, sometimes you may experience a little bit of tilt, but I think I got that kink out. As for in flight, in level flight, top speed's about 113 meters per second if you have the relative dampening mod on. But from that 113, it takes a couple seconds to decelerate, but it's manageable past that point. Turning at top speed doesn't actually overcharge the power systems or anything, overload the power systems or anything. Closest it's ever gotten is 60, which is pretty nice. It does drift a tiny bit, but for a helicopter this big, it's pretty nice to fly. It does have all the prerequisites for the heli assist script if you run that. I don't use it personally, but you may like to. Aside from this, there's not much else I can say other than thank you for the comment, mate, and thank you for the idea. And I hope you've all enjoyed this little demonstration of my CH-53 Super Stallion. Damn it. If you have any other builds or concepts or anything else you'd like me to have a look at, leave them in the comments below and I'll see if I can try them out. But as always, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Later.